Finding the surface area is usually something that causes a little bit of difficulty for 7th graders, but if you understand the basics of what surface area is, and then just have a systematic approach to doing it, a method, so that way you get good habits developed, then surface area doesn't have to be a scary situation. If I wanted to find the surface area of this cube, and let's talk about what surface area is, it just means you add up the area of all its faces. So, you know, I need to find the area of this bottom face of this cube to start with, and that's a square. How do we find the area of a square? Well, if a square has sides of 5 on there, that means each side is 5. And basically we could square the sides, or we could say the base of the square, which in this case is 5, and the height of the square, which in this case we say is 5. We multiply together and we say, hey, it's 25 units squared. Same thing with a rectangle. If we were dealing with a rectangle, you know, the base, let's just say, was in this case 8, and the height in this case was 3. That would make this side 3 and this side 8. And we'll talk about that property of rectangles and squares in a bit. But 3 times 8, base times height, that makes it 24 units squared. And so the basic idea of finding the surface area is going through and finding the area of each face. And so let's go through and find the area of each face, and then we just add them up. Here's the bottom face of this cube. Well, the base of it is 5, and the height of this face is 5. So 5 times 5 is 25. So the bottom is 25 inches squared. Okay? And now here's a neat little trick. The top is exactly the same as the bottom because it's a cube. It's the same size. Because this is 5 inches, this is 5 inches. And then let me get a green here. Because this is 5 inches right here, that makes this edge of the cube hard to see, but makes that 5 inches also. So 5 times 5 for the top also. So the top is 25 inches squared. And now we just need to go through and find the other 4 faces. So let's go find this right face that's right here. See this one? Well, 5 times 5 is 25. And that means the left one is the same. 5 times 5 is 25. Whoops. Need to make sure I get inches squared there. And now the one that we have not dealt with yet, the 2 that we've not dealt with is the front and the back. And you can see the front. It's right here, 5 by, see this vertical 5 right here? This is a back 5 inches, so this is 5 inches right here also. 5 times 5 again. For the front would be 25 inches squared, and you get the idea. All the cube's faces are exactly the same, and we'll go ahead and show you the back one just that way you'll be better prepared. The back one is this face right back here, and it's a 5 by 5, so the back is 25 inches squared. So what we've done is we found the area of each face, and if we want to find the surface area for the solid, we add up all the area of all the faces. So 25, 25, 25, you see them, there's 6 25s. That would be 150 square inches is our surface area, and that's all that surface area is. It takes a little bit, but if you just track, hey, I found the bottom surface area, I found the top face surface area, the right, the left, the front, and the back, you can find it for a cube. Same thing happens for a prism. It's not a cube, so the faces are slightly different, but let's just go through and do it right now. Let's do the top face right here. Well, if this is 3 feet here, that means this one is 3 feet, because that's a rectangle on the side. And this is 10 feet here, so that means this is 10 feet. So what's 10 times 3? 30 feet squared. The bottom is exactly the same size. So 10 times 3 is 30 feet also, 30 feet squared. Let's erase that, and let's do the left and right. Here's the right one, 5 times 3 is 15 feet squared. The left one will be exactly the same because it's 5 feet by 3 feet. They mirror each other. So there's the left one. And now we just need to go through and find the front and back face. So here's the front face right here. Lightly trace that in. This is 5 feet because this back corner was 5 feet, so this is 5 feet also. 10 times 5 is 50. And then that means the back is exactly the same. And I'm not going to shade that one in. And so now, if you want to find the surface area, you go add up all of these. 30 plus 30 is 60. 15 and 15 is 30. And 50 and 50 is 100. Well, these two are 90. 60 and 30 is 90. 90 and 100 is 190. So our surface area is 190 feet squared. Go ahead and pause the video, see if you can find the surface area of this cube, and then hit play when you're ready. I'm going to call this one, I know it's 4 feet by 4 feet, and so that's 16 inches squared for one face. But remember, this is a cube. All the edges are exactly the same, and there are 6 faces. One face is 16 inches squared. We have 6 faces total. So if we take this area and times it by 6, 16 times 6, you'll get 96 kilometers squared. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't have put inches squared there. I should have put kilometers squared. And if you don't believe me, look, I mean, here's 16 there. Here's 16 for this face, 16 for that face, 16 for that face, and then we've got the front and back faces, 16 and 16, and that's 6 different faces that all have the same area. 6 different faces that all have the same area of 16, and so that's what we're doing. It's 96 kilometers squared. Try this one. This might help you. Find your top and find your top area, your bottom area. Try your front and back, and then your left and right. Okay. Our top is 8 by 4, so that's 32. That means our bottom is also 8 and 4, so that's 32. Here's our front, 4 by 7. See the 4 by 7 there? So that's 28. The back will be exactly the same. And now we just need to do our left and right. Here's our left one hiding right back here. And that's 7 by 8. See this one right here? 7 by 8. So that's 56. And that means our right is exactly the same. And here, after you add up all 6 face areas, it would be 232 yards squared, because again, we're using yards and we're talking about area, so yards squared. Here's number 3. Give that your best shot. We're abbreviating there just to make it a little bit easier, but let's see if you can do this. Our top is 3 centimeters back. Actually, let's go back to using red there. Can't see the blue. 3 kilometers. Not centimeters, 3 kilometers by 8 kilometers, so that is 24, and that's the same that the bottom would be. Our front is 8 kilometers by 8 kilometers, so that's 64, same as the back. And now let's use green here. We'll use the right side here first because that's a little easier to see. 3 kilometers by 8 is 24, and again, you can see this left side is the same. 3 kilometers by 8, so that's 24. Add them all up. Let's see. I get 260. Hopefully I didn't make a mistake there. So the surface area is 260 kilometers squared. And I rechecked my math real quick, and it's actually 224 kilometers squared. So we'll see how many mistakes I can make on this video. Hopefully I'm catching all of my mistakes though. But again, you just add up 24 plus 24 plus 64 plus 64, 24, and 24. And if you want to get a little creative and say there's 4 24s and times that by 4, you know, that equals 96. And if you say, hey, 64 times 2 is 128, then you could add those on up. And, you know, that's where we got the 224 from. Right there is we're just adding it all up. So take your pick that way. And here's the very last one. I'll go ahead and set this up while you've paused the video and worked it out. Hit play when you're ready. Top, bottom, front, back, left, and right. Here's our top, 6 yards by 2 yards, so that'd be 12. The bottom, as you can see, would be a mirror image of it, so that would also be 12. If we want to go ahead and do the left one, this is a little easier to show right here. Here's the left side of it. So let's see. If this is 2 yards, that makes this 2 yards, so 6 by 2 is also 12. The right side will also be 12. And now we just have to do the front and back, and we'll clear this off right here. As you can see right there, it's a 6 by 6, so that's 36 for the front, and then the back would also be 36. Add that up, looks like we'd be getting 120 yards squared.